So let's do something a little different today. We're not here looking for an answer. Not really. Instead, we're going to quietly investigate a question, a really profound one. And to do that, we have to start with a clean slate. No assumptions, just a very careful look. You know that feeling, right? That urge deep inside to understand something bigger, something ultimate, the thing we've given the name God. Let's really pause and look at that. When you say, I want to understand God, what's really going on inside? Okay, so to get to the bottom of this, we kind of have to flip the whole thing on its head. We're not going to look at what is being sought. Not yet. We're going to look at the one who's doing the seeking. Who, or maybe more accurately, what, is it that asks the question in the first place? It's the mind. That's it. The part of you that's asking, the part that's reaching out, searching for something more. The very source of this whole question. It's all happening in the mind. But here's the thing. This mind of ours, it's not some kind of pristine, untouched lens. Not at all. It's been shaped, deeply conditioned by the culture we grew up in. All the stories, all the images, everything we were ever told was sacred or holy. And it's also conditioned by fear, a really deep underlying fear. The fear of not knowing, of being alone, and of course, the fear of our own end. And maybe the biggest conditioner of all is just memory. Every single thing you've ever been told, every experience you've had, it's all been collected, stored up, and used to build the very structure of the you that's now on the search. So we have to be really honest here and ask ourselves, when a mind like that, one built from culture, fear, and memory, starts searching for God, is it really looking for truth, for something totally unknown? Or is it just looking for a more comfortable, more secure version of what it already knows? And that brings us to a really important distinction. We have to see the difference between what we believe and what we actually perceive for ourselves. Think about it. Belief is always secondhand, isn't it? It's something you inherit, a conviction you borrow from someone else. But direct perception, well, that's firsthand. It's not an idea you adopt. It's a kind of clarity that comes from within. And let's be real, if there's anything truly sacred out there, you're not going to find it through something borrowed. Okay, so this is where our little investigation gets, well, pretty radical. What if the biggest obstacle in the whole search isn't something out there? What if the barrier is the search itself? What if the seeker is the obstacle? Deep down, we all have this thought, right? It goes something like this. I am here, and God is over there. Just that simple thought creates this enormous gap, this huge psychological distance between the two. But what if that gap isn't real? What if the whole division is an illusion? Not something we have to cross, but something we just need to see through. You see, this I that's doing all the seeking, it's not a solid thing. It's just a construct, a bundle of memories and thoughts and identity. And when that structure, that noise, just quiets down, not because you force it to, but just because you understand what it is, the whole feeling of separation just collapses. The distance vanishes because, well, it was never really there to begin with. So if the seeker itself is the illusion, then it makes sense that the mind's usual toolkit just doesn't work here. Things like trying to define it, trying to control it, all that effort, it's all useless. You can't grasp something that's immeasurable with tools made for measuring. I mean, what does it mean to define something? It means you draw a line around it, you put it in a box. But how on earth do you draw a line around something that's limitless? The second you try to define the infinite, to put it into a concept, poof, it's not infinite anymore. It's just another small thought trapped inside the box of your own mind. It's the same thing with trying to force your mind to be quiet. When you grit your teeth and say, be silent. That's just an act of will. It's suppression. It's control. But true silence, that's something else entirely. You can't achieve it. It's not a goal. It's what happens when all the inner conflict just stops. And that conflict only stops when you understand it, when you can just watch it effortlessly. So, where do we go from here? Well, the point of all this isn't to give you a new answer or a new belief to hold on to. It's more of an invitation to pay attention in a completely different way. And that new way of paying attention, that is the end of the search. And this isn't some complicated technique, okay? It's just a gentle awareness. It means you just watch your thoughts as they float by without grabbing them and labeling them good or bad. You watch that feeling of fear come up and you don't immediately try to escape it. You watch desire appear and you don't condemn it. And what's amazing is when you can just observe like that, clearly and without choosing sides, you'll notice the frantic race of your own thoughts just naturally starts to slow down. And in that quiet space that appears, things become very, very clear. You realize the sacred thing you were looking for isn't a word, it's not some idea from a book. It's the quality of your own mind when it's become silent and clear and just aware. And if you ever come to that state, you'll find that all the old questions they don't matter anymore. You won't be asking, where is God? A totally new question will pop up. A question that's just filled with a kind of quiet astonishment. Wow, how did I ever miss this?